Hello, Hassan from Massive Views here, and Happy New Year for everyone here in Australia and all around the world. Uh, get ready for fireworks at New Year's Eve. Yeah. Well, anyway, so today is a review for a film I actually watched, actually last year now, technically 2024, but I held it off till now, a little bit because of the fact the movie this guy, that person that this movie's made, uh, well, tells his story. He performed on New Year's Eve celebration. It was last night in Sydney, so I thought it makes sense to wait till now. So here we are, Better Man, the biopic on Robbie Williams. And let me start off by saying this: when I first saw the trailer and know what they're doing, I'm being honest, I could not take it seriously. I really couldn't. Like, I get Robbie Williams's persona a bit and what he thinks of himself as, but to actually go with the running joke that he sees himself a bit of a monkey and have him actually motion capture monkey walking around and it's actually him playing as himself. I was like, I couldn't take it seriously for the longest time. It's not like I couldn't buy Robbie as an actor because he has acted before in other films and TV shows. Um, he was one of the many actors who one of the monsters of Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein, cut out, and he's Americanized uh, pile of crap that he made called Dougal, which I reviewed uh, in my very first year. But yeah, what Robbie Williams's movie, I was for a long time not taking it seriously. The one thing I kept forgetting about is that this film was directed by Michael Gracie, an Australian director who's best well known for directing The Greatest Showman. And I gotta say, that's one of my favorite movie musicals in it, was one of my favorite movie musicals in a very long time. And even now, I still think a bit, the songs can still pop in my head every now and then. So to hear him actually making this, and it was, you know, I could definitely see it because a lot of the dance numbers in this do feel have a bit of a Greatest Showman vibe, but in many ways, it actually does feel like he in this 4 years, the 6 years between these two films, The Greatest Showman and Better Man, he honed in his craft a fair bit. This once again, this is shot fully in Australia, and well, Robbie has a really good really has good attachment to Australia. I mean, yeah. And yeah, I think overall, I think this film is probably the best biopic of 2024 that I've seen because I haven't seen all of them. But the two I did reviews on, which were Bob Marley's One Love and Back in Black Rebecca, which is Amy Winehouse. I wasn't really the biggest fan as they all had various problems I didn't think were good. But as I said, I haven't seen all of them. And I know, and one of them I haven't seen is that Pharrell Williams Lego uh, documentary, which I do plan on watching when that comes out on streaming services. I will watch that then, but I chose not to do it in theaters because of, timing and a lot of other big things out at the time. But yeah, for what it is, hey, I chose Wallace and Gromit over Pharrell Williams. Give me a break. And Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, and too. Okay, I probably should have not watched that. But anyway, what I'm saying. Um, yeah, I think overall this film is really strong. All the actors do a really good job. Williams does a good job with both performing as with his voice in narration and voicing himself. It's not actually him doing the motion capture. It's another actor, and he does okay. That same actor is actually the one who's singing instead of Williams, which smart. Okay, good enough choice. All the music is good. The the cover the recovers of Robbie's best hits are handled well. The visual effects and motion capture uh look really good. Honestly, I thought I wouldn't take it seriously, but actually, the moment the film actually started, I was actually won over pretty well. I thought I was going to snicker a fair bit, but I didn't actually. It worked really well, and I think maybe that was maybe Williams had the. I realized that Williams had the right idea with this. The dance choreography is great. The rock, uh, I Want to Rock DJ is probably the best that she used for the dance in terms of dancing. The pacing is handled really well thought they handled it well. I mean, there are obviously some artist changes to the sort to what actually happened in real life. I mean, Robbie probably knew that he had to do some changes to his real life story, but for what it is, it's pretty close to being authentic. And I think overall it was just, as I said, I was completely surprised just how well this Robbie's presentation of himself won me over. It was fantastic. I really did enjoy it. He made the right choice with him being a monkey. Uh, Making himself a monkey is what I'm trying to say. You know, if there is one thing I do want to be critical over, it is the narration aspect, because Robbie does provide a bit of narration here and there to explain certain things, and it sort of just stops abruptly and does not return to the final scene of the film. Like, I could have thought of either if you liked a bit, either you stop at a more appropriate time, like, I don't know, I think maybe when he's doing his 2003 concert tour, I think that was one of the segments, when he's fully being absorbed by fame and is starting to lose the plot of his drug problem. I think that was probably the one part I think they could have maybe stopped it at that point. Because the part they do stop at, I forget when, but I'm like, just felt a bit too early in my view. But in general, I gotta say, Better Man is one of the best. In my view, was the biggest surprise of 2024 for films for me. I thought I could not take this seriously, but it ended up winning me over pretty well. It's a 9 out of 10 has stars for sure, and definitely one of my top four or five films of the year, hands down. Not the best. I mean, uh, Wild Robot and the Christopher Reeve story were still the best for me of 2024. But I'd sort of say maybe in between Wallace and Gromit and Inside Out too. That's where Better Man fits into the equation in my view. Of what I saw in theaters, that is. Yeah. But I gotta start looking for films to watch in for 2025, and there are two sort of tossing about for January. Whether or not I can watch them both just depends. But we'll have to wait. But you'll just have to wait and see. Besides, I've also got other things I want to review too. And so, in the meantime, as Fast Reviews is out, and I shall see you for my next review. Ciao.